Self-defense, and it's something that most people are going to have to learn. It's not safe on the streets these days, or at least on some streets. Everyone should learn how to protect themselves, like Karen Armstrong. It would be a very foolish person who'd dare to attack her. Karen's an expert in Wing Chun, a form of Kung Fu. She's written a book about the sport, and she's with us this morning. Good morning.
Hello, Liz.
Is it the new era? Women should be out there looking after themselves and learning how to cope?
I think it's very important that not only women but all people should think about an effective means of self-defence like Wing Chun, almost as a form of insurance.
Wing Chun is really interesting because it was devised by a nun 400 years ago.
That's right.
Is that one of the reasons you were attracted to it?
That did attract me to it. Surprisingly, even although Wing Chun is founded by a woman, it's mainly studied by men. And Wing Chun is known as the most simple, direct and effective style of martial art for self-defence.
Have you had to use it?
I've used it in very minor situations, but what I, like most of our members at the International Wing Chun Academy, have found is that confidence is the best deterrent. If you don't look and act like a victim, you're not likely to become one.
I was reading, actually, where you say that you can sense violence before it happens.
Yes, well, you develop, through doing Wing Chun, you develop an awareness of that kind of thing, and it means that your responses will be better. You will be better able to cope with the situation.
All right, Wing Chun looks at, you have what we call butterfly knives.
Yes.
And the long pole.
Right.
I think you've got those here today, have you?
Yes, we've got
sure. We'll have a look at those very quickly. But how do we apply that in day-to-day situations? Because we're not all going to have our knives and poles on us, are we?
In fact, the majority of our training at Master Jim Fung's International Wing Chun Academy is in unarmed self-defence, just day-to-day situations where you don't have anything around you, and most of our training does not involve weapons. It's only at a very advanced stage that you do learn the weapons, and in fact that's the reason why Master Jim Fung and I wrote this book, because it's he is one of the world's top experts, and it is the only book that is available in English on these weapons. What it shows is how practical real-life items can be used as well.
All right, well, you've got some practical real-life items?
Yes, we have. In fact, first of all, we're going to show some unarmed self-defence, and then we're going to go straight into the weapons.
Okay, I hope Steve's taking close eyes.
All right. What we'd like people to look for is the simplicity and effectiveness of what we're going to do. We don't do fancy movements. Everything is direct, practical, and very simple.
So you don't muck around?
We don't muck around. You can't afford to.
Okay.
So I'll ask Nigel to come on.
Okay, now you explain to us what's happening.
First of all, we're going to show some very simple and practical real-life attack and defence situations that could happen to anyone.
This is serious business. This is a frightening business.
You'll notice that all our movements are very direct, they're very economical, and while it might look a little bit complex to a beginner, Wing Chun is actually very simple to learn and can be learnt within 3 to 6 months.
Should you start I guess you should wait till you're proficient before you start trying these sorts of things, though.
Well, this demonstration would include some of the more advanced movements, but some of the very simple things like a grab from behind, they can be learnt and applied straight away. The weapons, of course, are a much more advanced demonstration.
I don't like your attacker here.
But what we want to show here is how a real-life item like an umbrella could be used. And what we point out in the book is that even without training, if you read the book, you'll find out how these sorts of things could be used effectively.
Things that you've got on you at the time.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Shall I move?
We'll try to keep out of your way. Another item that we've brought on the show this morning is a broom. A woman may be at home, or a person may be at home with a broom. Actually, we've bent the umbrella.
I'm a little nervous myself. Okay, you're just busily doing
just sweeping away with the broom.
Right.
You'll notice that the movements are very direct. We don't wave our weapons around. If you have to strike someone, no, you do it without warning, without telegraphing. Now, the actual Wing Chun weapons are the butterfly knives and the long pole. And we're going to show this morning how the butterfly knives can be used against the pole.
All right, we've just got a very short period of time, so...
Right, okay.
You lose, Nigel.
Once again.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning, and I hope that somewhere along the line we can help some people think about
Great.
self-defence.
In Adelaide and Sydney, they can learn it anywhere at our academy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Liz.
Karen Armstrong on Wing Chun.